today I am here to do an official review slash wrap-up thoughts on season 2 of the German version of Skam, which I still don't know how to pronounce that well, but it is of course Mia's season. I did reactions to every episode and kind of talked about my thoughts on those individually. If you want to check any of those out, season 3 actually starts Saturday, right, already? Yeah, Saturday, with clips for Mateo's season, so I'm really looking forward to that, and I just wanted to get this up and done before, you know, any season 3 stuff starts to color what I was feeling about season 2, since I do think we'll hopefully, probably, get to see Mia and Alex in the background, since it looks like Mateo will be moving in with Mia and Hans and Lynn. Is her name Lynn? Lynn. Sure. So season 2. It was something really special from the get-go, because for so long we hadn't heard anything necessarily about if there was going to be another season of the show, and this particularly is my favorite remake just based on the season 1. So like back in March, February, remember when they were all coming out, was like, we got France, we got Germany, we got Italy, we got US, like all of them were coming out, and out of all of them my favorite was definitely the German one. So I was super bummed that we weren't hearing anything much about it. Everyone in the cast on their social media was being kind of like, we don't know anything, we don't know anything. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of like, I think around like November, October, I don't really remember exactly when, they just dropped the news on us that they are coming back for a season 2. It's already filmed, it's gonna be about Mia and Alex, and it's gonna start in December. And we were all just kind of like, like, I was so excited to hear that it was coming back. I was super excited that it was going to be Mia's season 2 because I was super intrigued by her. And I really loved the actress Melina who plays Mia. I remember in the first ever episode of the show, I was not super impressed with her acting skills. However, she completely changed my mind. She had changed my mind already by like halfway through season 1, but season 2 just proves she is a phenomenal actress in my eyes. I think a lot of it had to do with in the beginning, and I feel like Mia still is kind of this, she's a lot more, I don't know if like laid back is the right word, but I feel like she just kind of talks slower and she more takes things in and kind of like quietly eviscerates you instead of just getting like super worked up and super passionate. So I feel like that was kind of throwing me off with her, because I'm used to my Noras being like, you know. But I did come to love Mia in season 1, so I was looking forward to her season in season 2. This is actually only the second remake we've gotten right with Nora's storyline, so I was super excited to see how they were going to change things, since Skam France, when they did the storyline, they kept things pretty much the same, which is kind of what was Skam France's MO. Now they're changing things with season 3, but I was just looking forward to it because I feel like the German version would take more chances than the France version did. So I was definitely not disappointed in any way with that, because the only downside I could say is that we only had 10 episodes, and I do feel like I've talked about this a little bit towards the end, like I would specifically say like maybe 8, 9, and 10, the episodes did start to feel a little rushed. I don't know if it was just a pacing thing, like maybe they should have put certain events like earlier in the season, or if they truly did need more episodes and maybe they just couldn't fit them in if they wanted to also do Mateo's season in this same like semester time frame. But I do feel like you could definitely feel towards the end that they needed more time to kind of wrap up some of the storylines, because it feels like we didn't have enough of the like emotional fallout, you know, in certain events. Like they were all just kind of not swept under the rug, because I think they were dealt with, but I think they definitely were kind of like, we're moving on to this, we're moving on to that. So that would be my only really downside of the season, is I think towards the end it did feel a little rushed and we didn't get to enjoy certain parts as well. I think tied for my favorite episodes are the episode where they have the party at Alex's house and Mia ends up staying the night because she forgot her key. That was really cute. And then also the episode where they just spend like the entire week together and just have so much fun times until Alex has a panic attack, but then that brings them back together. And those two were definitely my favorite episodes. I feel like storytelling, acting just knocked it out of the park, and I feel like that was the general theme for this entire season, was just knocking it out of the park. From the first episode, I was kind of like, where is this going? And I loved that, because it wasn't following the trajectory necessarily of, this is what happened in episode 1 of the original, so this is going to happen in episode 1 of ours, this is what happened in episode 2, so this is what, like, it wasn't following and lining up exactly. They were doing their own things. And I've said from probably about like halfway through the season watching it, what you realize is that Mia and Alex feel like different characters than Nora and William, and their relationship feels different. I actually like Mia and Alex's relationship a little bit better than Nora and William's, and I know that's weird to say because it's based on it, but I feel like they're just different people and their relationship is different. Alex was so much more of a goofball than William was. Like, William does have goofball tendencies, but like there were just so many things that Alex did that I was like, you, sir, are a giant dork, and you are, I love you. And Mia, I feel like, is a lot more, what's the word? I don't know, it's hard to describe her because she is different than Nora, but she is similar. I feel like she is a lot more distrusting maybe than Nora is, you know. I feel like Nora, I don't know, because Nora definitely is also like distrusting, but I just feel like for Mia, she has more this like set of like walls that she puts up and is like, this is what it's gonna be, like, you know, she's not gonna really like let anyone in. So I just feel like that was really nice because it truly made it feel like you were watching a different show kind of, and there were, like I said, different storylines they followed and progressed. Like the whole thing with William's brother was changed in a way that I really, really liked. I liked the idea that now it's this guy that was involved in Alex's life, but not necessarily his brother, because I think it adds a new factor in, and I also love how it changed the dynamic of Alex and his sister's relationship. Like, I think there's something very special about when you're like the only two siblings together instead of like him and his a-hole brother hanging out or something like that, you know? It reminded me a lot, I said this before, about Elite from Marina and Guzman. Like, there's just something very special about that relationship, I feel like, when it's a sister and a brother who are kind of, you know, each other's whole world against their parents who aren't really involved. So I feel like it added in a nice sort of emotional element and also gave Alex a storyline in himself. I think the biggest thing, I think I've said this before, the biggest thing I cannot stand about season 2 is when William walks away from Nora when she says she doesn't know if she slept with her brother. Because to me, if someone ever says they don't know, there is more to that story. Like, you shouldn't just walk away. And I get, again, that's William. He gets angry, he walks away and stuff like that. So I like how they handled it with Alex, where he was more kind of, and even Mia said it, like, you don't hurt people to protect them from you, you hurt people to protect yourself from them. So he was more, I would feel like it wasn't necessarily everything that happened with Bjorn that made him mad and not want to be with her anymore. It was them realizing that, like, him realizing, like, she doesn't trust him. Like, she still went to Bjorn even though he told her to, like, stay away from him, and not so great words, but, you know, like, she just, there was like this wall of like, he just wanted her to trust him, but she wanted him to tell him the truth about everything, and like there was this wall between them. And what you saw is it fall apart in the last episode, and then realize that, like, it's not going to be easy, it's not going to be a walk in the park all the time. They're gonna have their issues, but they want to be with each other at the end of the day, and they choose each other. And like I said, a lot of the storyline changes I liked, particularly with Kiki and giving her Carlos already. I love Carlos, guys. Like, if I could have Carlos as boyfriend, sign me up. He is so supportive. He went, like, kind of to Mia when her and Kiki were fighting and was like, you guys need to make up, like, this is crushing her and I'm sure it's crushing you, and like really wanted them to work together and work out their issues. He supported her once they got together. I almost said once they got together. He supported her to go talk to a therapist about her issues with eating, and even Mia was like, I've been saying that, and Kiki was like, yeah, but you never said it like that direct to me, that like I didn't really get it before, you know. And Kiki just became such this confident, strong person, and I don't necessarily want to say like it's because of Carlos. Like, I'm not saying that at all, but I think it's showing you what can happen to you as a person when you have the right support system. Like, she is no longer worried about Alex and being with him and reading the weird signals he's giving her. Like, she's with someone who fully supports her and loves her and truly wants her to be the best version of herself and is there for her. Like, he's never forcing her, and I think that's the thing to point out, you know, is that a healthy support system like Kiki has at the end can do wonders for you. So I really like that they added that in, because I also think like Kiki just reminded me so much of Mia at the end of the season, you know, like, and I feel like that's because Mia has always been kind of the most confident in the group and the most seemingly self-assured and like comfortable with who she is. So to see Kiki be like that and be like, you know what, like, it's not important really if Alex and Mia are together, it's important that she's happy, like, we're here for her. And I just loved her. And even everything with like her wearing the glasses, you know, that's something that like she was so into, like her looks and her weight and everything like that, and then for her to just be like, I like my glasses, I think they're cute, they help me see, no F's given. Like, it was really, really nice. So I feel like they did a good job of balancing between, like, characters that were on the sidelines, but then also the main character. Like, the characters didn't disappear completely, which is good because it's not like real life would be, but they didn't overshadow Mia and Alex's storyline, which I feel like is always the danger that we've seen in season 4 of the original Scum, is you can very easily have characters overshadow the main, and we don't want that to happen because at the end of the day the story is about the main and their growth and their change. But it is also nice to see that Kiki is in a really great place because we learned about how much, like, she depends on Mia and she sees Mia as a role model, so to see her kind of now be as, you know, fulfilled and happy as she perceived Mia to be is really, really awesome. So overall, I just super enjoyed the season. Like I said, I think the acting was phenomenal. Not only Melina was a great actress, but also Chris really brought his all. Like, the panic attack scenes, anytime the boy had to, like, silently cry and just break down, like, I know people pick on his acting because they're like, it's like emotionless or something, but there's a talent to that. There is a talent to looking like there's nothing there and like you're just cold and cut off, and we learn why he's like that, and we learn callbacks to like how everything that happened with his sister happened the first season of the show, and when Mia yelled at him, like, that was like a wake-up call to him of like, I finally feel something other than just like this cold nothingness, you know? So that's why I really appreciate his acting, because I feel like it's not something that's easy exactly to do, even though everyone's like, he doesn't look like he has any emotions. I'm like, that's the point, and that's why it's so amazing that he can look like a robot but then still cry. Like, we got to give the man credit. So I super, super enjoyed the season. It blew away my wildest expectations, and it's gonna make it especially hard, I think, for any of the other remakes coming up that are going to tell Nora's storyline. I don't want to necessarily compare them, but I feel like comparisons are just drawn, and I feel like what I'm really going to hope for in the other seasons is that they also do their own thing, because I think that really worked out in the German version's favor. I always go to say the show and then I'm like, no, because you're going to mess it up. I think it worked out in their favor that they had their own storyline, and it was new, it was different, you didn't know what was coming necessarily, but you still rooted for these characters, and it still felt authentic and genuine and real, and that, at the end of the day, is the most important thing, is you root for Mia, you feel what Mia feels when she is down, when she is happy, when she's confused, like you're in her head, and it's just so, so awesome. So I really, really enjoyed this season, definitely my favorite of the Nora remakes, not that we've gotten a lot so far, but I would say this is definitely probably my favorite season of any of the remakes, like across as a whole. Like, I just love this season so, so much. So if you have seen this season, please feel free to leave your thoughts about it down below in the comments, what you thought of Mia, Alex, what you're looking forward to seeing in season 3, because there's also going to be some stuff, even though it's Mateo's season, with Jonas in particular. That's going to be interesting, because, I mean, look at Scott France, how Jan was like mad that Lucas didn't, you know, trust him enough to talk to him, but I feel like Jonas can't really get like that, because Mateo could be like, I've been trying to talk to you and you've just been icing me out. So yeah, like I said, leave your thoughts on the season down below. Also, make sure this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!